This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder that Capital One Bank Guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also tell you about how Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bankguy. Capital One N.A., member FDIC. Work can be a little weird. Cringy training seminars, coworkers who won't stop talking about their plant, forgetting the mute button at an inopportune moment. We have to deal with a lot on any given workday. Sometimes it can feel hard to thrive and move forward in your career. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in. LinkedIn helps you get ideas and insights from experts in your field, connect with people professionally, grow your network, and access tools designed to help you find the right fit for your next role. Whether you're just getting started, figuring out your next move, or looking to accelerate your career, LinkedIn is built to support you at every stage, because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Hi, everyone. Here on December 8th, 2015, in our time capsule episode, aka Weekend Saturday Selects, we are going to take you back and talk about an American hero by the name of Carl Sagan in the appropriately titled podcast episode, Carl Sagan, American Hero.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know, a production of iHeartRadio.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark with Charles W. Chuck Bryant and Noel. The stint of Noel is winding down, sadly.
It's such an awkward thing.
Having Noel here? He's sitting right there.
The stint of Noel.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the wording?
Yeah.
Wording's fine.
All right. How you doing?
I'm fine. Just like that wording.
I'm sleepy.
Why about?
I've just been staying up late writing till 1 and 2 in the morning like a dope. I'm 17.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
A manifesto?
No. No, just staying up too late, typing.
That's neat. Do you drink wine while you type?
Last night it was Bullet Bourbon.
Yeah. And then you're just like, I'm not typing words correctly anymore, and then you know it's time for bed?
You get on a roll, and then you look up, and it's 2 a.m.
Nice, man. I'm glad to hear that.
6:30 rolls around, and here we are.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. So your creative juices are flowing?
They're flowing, baby.
You know who else's juices were flowing and still flow through this universe? Carl Sagan. He was a creative science type.
Yeah.
And it made him kind of controversial.
Man.
It also made him beloved.
Beloved, and I think one of like the precursors to what we do, you know? Mm-hmm. In fact, there's a quote on him being an explainer, which I thought was very cool.
Which is the geekiest term ever, but it's a good term. Science explainer.
Yeah, he said, I think I'm able to explain things because understanding wasn't entirely easy for me. Some things that the most brilliant students were able to see instantly, I had to work to understand. I can remember what I had to do to figure it out. The very brilliant ones figure it out so fast.
That sounds familiar.
They never see the mechanics of understanding.
Yeah.
So I really identified with that. I'm like, man, that's kind of what we do, you know? We work really hard at understanding this because we're not experts.
No.
And he wasn't an expert on one thing. He covered a lot of, that's what made him unique.
Right.
A lot of different facets of science.
Yeah.
Which you don't see much.
No, you don't. I mean, it does pop up here and there, but if you think about the people who are like that, like Jared Diamond is a really good current example. Neil Tyson.
Screech?
No, that's Dustin Diamond.
Oh, okay.
Jared Diamond, man, I don't even remember what he's trained in. He's just such a generalist.
Yeah.
But he wrote like Guns, Germs, and Steel.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's got a little Robert Bork beard. And
really?
Good guy. He's one. Neil deGrasse Tyson has definitely become one.
Yeah.
Although he's still very much an astrophysician, right?
Yeah, but he's sort of talked about a lot of times in terms of being like Sagan, and not just because he rebooted Cosmos, which was Sagan's show, but
Oh, yeah.
Because he's just the face of science. Like, he's the go-to guy.
Sure. I mean, like, he was the obvious choice for Cosmos because he was
sure.
already so much like Sagan,
Yeah.
following in those footsteps for sure. There's other guys. There's like Brian Greene as a science explainer. Bill Nye as a science explainer.
Yeah, love Bill Nye.
They're definitely out there for sure, but you can you make a good point that Sagan was one of the originals, if not the original. But the idea that he was somebody who was willing to draw parallels from different disciplines in science or bring them together to create something approachable for people to kind of invigorate people's love of science.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, it made him beloved. It also just it made him not reviled. This is not the right word, but he was definitely criticized in the scientific establishment.
In parts, for sure. Some
Yeah.
people in the scientific establishment loved him, and some were like, "You're not doing much real research.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, you're just sort of a face guy." And I poo-poo that entirely and say that he did a lot for science, and
Yeah.
people like him are necessary, and I value their work.
Okay, you're taking a stand, huh?
Yeah, man, Carl Sagan's amazing. He's one of my heroes.
Yeah, he's
Like,
good
I
guy.
watched Cosmos when I was 10 years old.
I have never seen it.
Oh, man, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a PBS show that had tens of millions of viewers.
No, I know.
Millions and millions.
Yeah, that's your Sagan.
Yeah, and you know what? He told Johnny Carson he never said billions and billions.
He said billions upon billions, right?
I never heard it. There's a supercut on YouTube of all of his billions, millions, and trillions from Cosmos,
Right.
cut to with a like hip hop music bed, and
Is that A Glorious Dawn?
I don't remember the name of it.
There is a video, a song that somebody created with him, a supercut of him. It's called Glorious Dawn. It's pretty great.
Well, I never heard billions and billions in there. There's a lot of billions and millions and trillions. He loved those words.
Right.
But he said, I never specifically said billions and billions. And I didn't hear it either. So
He's a misunderstood genius.
yeah, it became, I think Carson did it first, or maybe it was Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And then that just became the thing. Billions and billions.
Yeah, because he is a weird little dude for sure in a lot of ways. You know,
Yeah.
it's easily parodied, but he also seemed to have a fairly good sense of humor about himself, at least, and in general. He smoked grass. He thought grass was far out.
Man, we just vaulted back in time with that one.
Yeah.
He smoked the marijuana grass.
It's making it contemporary.
He was on the pot. Yeah, he did. He liked to smoke weed. And in fact, I have a quote here from, he wrote an essay
The quote reads,
in
"Wowie zowie."
Best Pavement album, by the way. He wrote an essay
I don't know about that.
oh yeah, what's your favorite?
I think
Slanted and Enchanted?
Yes.
The first one?
Yeah.
It's hard
Although Crooked Rain was pretty good.
No, I've never seen him more interested in what we're talking about. It's funny, in college we used to have a saying, it's not a matter of which album are we going to listen to next, it's which Pavement album are we going to listen to next.
See, you should put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah. So anyway, Sagan wrote an essay in Marijuana Reconsidered, and here is one of his quotes. He said, "The cannabis experience has greatly improved my appreciation for art, a subject which I had never much appreciated before. The understanding of the intent of the artist, which I can achieve when high, sometimes carries over to when I'm down. This is one of many human frontiers which cannabis has helped me traverse."
Was that Kermit the Frog doing Carl Sagan?
Yeah, that was sort of Kermity. But he, yeah, I mean, that's not, it doesn't define him or anything, but yeah, he liked to smoke the pot, and he liked
sure.
to get out his little tape recorder and talk about stuff.
Put on a turtleneck
Yeah.
with nothing else?
It was the 60s and 70s. Of course he
Sure,
was.
and I think the 80s and maybe even into the 90s.
Oh, that's true.
So, let's go back to the beginning. We've done some pretty good teasing here, right?
Yes.
And when you're talking about a human being, there's no place better to start at the beginning than with their birth.
1934, Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
His mother was, Rachel, was a garment industry manager, and apparently
I
pretty
think his
overbearing.
dad was.
Oh, yeah.
But his mom was overbearing.
Yes, mom was overbearing. Sorry, dad was a Ukrainian immigrant, Samuel, who worked as a garment industry manager. Because Because in 1934, they probably didn't hire women to do jobs like that,
Right.
which is really stinky.
So, and it's not like we've met the lady or anything and can report that she's overbearing. The idea that she's overbearing comes from this long-standing image of her of she had very high hopes and high expectations and aspirations for Carl.
Very well may have made the man,
Yeah.
Moved to New Jersey after a little while and was voted the class brain at Rahway High School. And I thought this was interesting in this. What article is this? The New Yorker?
Which one? Why Carl Sagan's truly irreplaceable?
Yeah, or
it's
Smithsonian.
By Smithsonian, Joel Achenbach.
It was a great article, though. But they tracked down in 1953 a questionnaire from high school that he had to fill out on his own character traits.
All right.
And Sagan said he gave himself low marks for vigorousness, like with sports, an average rating for emotional stability, and the highest ratings for being dominant and reflective.
I'm going to start using that vigorousness.
Yeah?
Man, I worked out this morning. I'm so vigorous. So that's not just a piece of paper they dug up, Chuck. That's from his archives.
Yeah.
Which were actually sold to the Library of Congress by his widow. What is his widow's name? Anne
Druyan, one of his, his widow.
Right.
But he was married 3 times.
Right.
Yeah.
And Anne sold the papers or supplied the papers for an honorarium, I guess, to the Library of Congress. And the Library of Congress got that money from Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah.
So basically, Seth MacFarlane bought Carl Sagan's papers and donated them to the Library of Congress.
Yes, that's
which
why
is
it's
pretty cool.
That's why it's called the Seth MacFarlane Collection of the Carl Sagan and Anne Druyan Archive.
Right.
Had to put his name on there.
Well, I mean, sure, why not?
No, it's fine. He's a huge fan of his work, and he's the one who rebooted Cosmos.
Right, and genuinely, like, I mean, I got to say, like, whatever you have to say about Seth MacFarlane, there is plenty to say.
I think he's
about
great.
Seth MacFarlane. He proved himself a true fan of Carl Sagan and a rich guy too.
I'm a fan. I've always liked Family Guy, so
Yeah.
I don't have anything bad to say about him.
Good for you. Have you seen American Dad?
No, I never got into that actually.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's not Family Guy, but it's definitely just totally different.
gotcha. 798 boxes of stuff of
Yeah.
archival material. The guy loved to log every conversation he ever had and every thought that ever entered his brain, mainly through cassette tape.
Right.
But I guess that was transcribed by other folks.
Yeah, apparently that's Joel Achenbach says that his writing style was so conversational because he didn't write. He dictated into a dictaphone, and then it was transcribed, basically. Basically, he was like the Hunter S. Thompson of science.
Yeah.
Remember Hunter T. had like the
Sure.
reel-to-reel he'd wear around his neck?
When one is high on marijuana, it is a buzzkill to type.
And actually, that's funny we bring up Hunter Thompson. Hunter Thompson loved acid. You know who else loved acid? Timothy Leary. You know who hung out with Timothy Leary? Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
Timothy Leary was trying to get Sagan to advise him on how to build an interstellar arc. Because Leary just totally lost his stuff by this time, right?
Man, we should do a show on him.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised we haven't
That'd
yet.
be crazy.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
We should. We should do one on like the Merry Pranksters, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just basically redo the electric Kool-Aid acid test.
Totally.
That'd be a good episode.
Yeah.
But Leary, at a mental institution, because he'd been popped with a bunch of acid, I think, had a visitor in Carl Sagan and Frank Drake of the famous Drake equation.
Mm-hmm. And
And they came by to say hi, and Leary was like, seriously, you guys have to help me design this. And they were like, the closest star is too far away, you kook.
Yeah.
This isn't going to work. And Leary said he sensed that they had some sort of neural blockage. That's why they couldn't think like he could.
Yeah.
Man. So that was Carl Sagan, Timothy Leary's story. But I think they stayed in touch.
Oh, I'm sure they did. So young Sagan is his life kind of changes when he goes to the World's Fair in 1939. He was just 5 years old.
You remember whose World's Fair that was?
Was it? No, I don't. Was it Chicago?
Eddie Bernays'.
Oh, yeah.
That was the one.
Wow.
The one that changed everything, including Carl Sagan.
Boy, that's a big one.
Yeah.
So Sagan goes to the World's Fair, and it was sort of a great time to be a young kid interested in science because in the late 30s and 40s and 50s, it was like everyone was captivated by the future.
Right. There was this idea that science could do anything.
Yeah.
Anything, and very soon would.
It was really exciting, and it was just a great time to be into it. It's the what's his name? Oppenheimer?
Mm-hmm.
No. Abu Haba?
Oppenheimer.
No, I'm talking about the article writer.
Oh, Achenbach.
You're like, yeah, Oppenheimer.
Right.
The nuclear bomb.
This guy. Yeah. I am become death. That's what I thought you were talking about.
In the article, he makes a great point about just that time period and how exploratory everything was really from then, like through the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great 40-year period in science where basically there was funding and like anything's possible. We can do anything we want until they started to, I guess, disprove things here and there.
Right. And actually what's interesting is there's a corresponding boost in technology from that era too. And a lot of people point out that all of the stuff from about 1975 on is actually built on the backs of the stuff that was built in the 40 years before that, from about 1935 to 1975.
Yeah.
And ever since then, we've hit a technological plateau.
Yeah.
It's really interesting, and you don't think about it. You're like, well, no, I mean, we have iPhones now. It's like, yeah, iPhones they're a combination of different stuff that was first discovered or invented 40 or more years ago.
Yeah.
And basically everything's like that. We're in a slump right now. So it was not only a time where they thought science could do anything, science was doing just about anything. And we've since hit a plateau. And
the author described him, I thought it was a great description, Sagan, as a nuanced referee, because a really cool thing about Sagan was he was very grounded in science and proof and facts, but he wasn't just a square and a skeptic, although he was a skeptic.
And square.
Yeah, but he was also he wanted to find life on other planets.
Sure.
And he didn't shut things down.
No.
And he was all about the discussion of everything as long as you still did the research and were grounded in facts.
As a matter of fact, and he did not believe in UFOs. He did not think that UFOs were extraterrestrial spacecraft. But in 1969, he mounted a conference on UFOs in which everyone apparently had their say, all sides.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we're mounting a conference on UFOs. You can come so the rest of us can poo-poo your ideas and beliefs. It was come and share your position on it. That's enormous. I mean, that in and of itself is worth remembering the person for. But this was 1969 before he'd even become like a household name or anything like it.
Yeah, and I like to think we do that. And we still get emails, though. We got one today from people that said it's dangerous to even mention other schools of thought.
That's dogmatic.
Yeah, and I don't agree, man.
That's dogmatic and closed-minded. And don't even email us with that crap.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah.
Don't even bother, because we're gonna make fun of you on the air.
Yeah, because that's not what our show's about. Even if we don't believe something, we like to throw all sides out there because I think discussion is healthy no matter what.
Sure.
That's just me.
Even when we were mocking crop circles, we still talked about crop circles, did we not? It's not like we just pretended like there wasn't such a thing as crop circles.
That's right. And we have Carl Sagan to thank for laying that golden path in front of us.
So you want to take a break?
I don't want to, but we have to.
We need to, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll be right back.
Work can be a little weird. One minute you're in a meeting that could have been an email. The next you're trying to decode corporate jargon that somehow means nothing. And don't even get us started on the quick sync that turns into a 45-minute deep dive.
Yeah, well, the truth is figuring out your career isn't always straightforward. Whether you're trying to grow, pivot, or just stay relevant, it can feel like you're navigating it all on your own. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in.
That's right. LinkedIn can help you grow your career, helping you confidently navigate your path with insights, ideas, and inspiration from your professional community. You can stay up to date with the latest trends in your field, connect with people who get it, and discover opportunities tailored to your goals, your experience, and what actually matters to you.
Whether you're looking for something new or just trying to grow where you are, LinkedIn gives you the tools and connections to move forward with confidence. Because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more. Hey everybody, we're here to talk to you about Wayfair. who believes that spaces should be functional, they should be comfortable, they should be well-designed, and they can be well-designed by you with their help.
Your updated space should feel more comfortable, inviting, and practical for everyday use. And we're talking about outdoor seating. We're talking about grills. We're talking about major appliances. If you need storage solutions, Wayfair can help you out. Patio lighting, rugs, decor. It is your one-stop shop for home.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting nice out, so it's time to think about living outdoors for the next few months. And Wayfair knows that outdoor furniture, it's heavy, it's intimidating to assemble. So Wayfair has stepped in and said, we're going to handle the hard part so you don't have to.
That's right. You can shop Wayfair Verified, your shortcut to the good stuff. And that means their team of product specialists are going to vet everything by hand using a 10-point inspection, testing things like, quality materials, functionality, and features, and even how long it takes to build that piece of furniture. And the overall experience save time, reduce hassle, and improved convenience.
Patio season is here, and these deals won't last. So head to wayfair.com right now to get your outdoor space ready for way less. That's WAYFAIR.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Hey everyone, if you've ever wanted to feel what it's like inside an episode of a show you love, hang with podcast hosts beyond the mic, or swap screens for sunsets with curious, like-minded people, then Stuff at Sea is your kind of voyage.
That's right. Stuff at Sea is a 5-night, culture-soaked escape where pink sand paradise meets curious minds. Sailing round trip on October 2nd to 7th, 2026 from New York City to Bermuda, this voyage drops you straight into the iHeart Podcast Stuff universe.
On top of the adults-only experience you already love, you'll get live podcast episode recordings, behind-the-scenes sessions, themed activations, and more unmissable on-board moments.
Yeah, and there's overnight stays in Bermuda, so there's no rush. Just long, sun-drenched days to explore or do absolutely nothing at all. And back on board, curiosity sparks connection through conversations, experiences, and a lineup designed to keep things as thought-provoking as they are unforgettable.
Stuff at Sea is part of the new specialty sailing collection that transforms beloved podcasts into immersive at-sea experiences exclusively with Virgin Voyages. Expect more stories, more hosts, and more ways to experience the voices that you love.
Book now at virginvoyages.com/stuff.
Running a business is hard enough, so why make it harder with a dozen different apps that don't talk to each other? One for sales, another for inventory, a separate one for accounting. Before you know it, you are drowning in software instead of growing your business.
And this is where Odoo comes in. Odoo is the only business software you'll ever need. It's an all-in-one, fully integrated platform that handles everything: CRM, accounting, inventory, e-commerce, HR, and more. No more app overload, no more juggling logins, just one seamless system that makes work easier.
And the best part, Odoo replaces multiple expensive platforms for a fraction of the cost. It's built to grow with your business, whether you're just starting out or already scaling up. Plus, it's easy to use, customizable, and designed to streamline every process. So you can focus on what really matters, which is running your business. Thousands of businesses have made the switch. So why not you?
Try Odoo for free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
All right, so we've been beating around the bush here.
Have we?
Let's talk. Well, not really.
Okay.
We've been getting into it, but
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the things that Sagan. He wasn't just some Johnny-come-lately. He had degree upon degree. I think he had.
He had billions and billions of degrees.
Well, he had an undergrad degree. He had his master's. He had his PhD. He was well versed in a lot of realms of science, but his big thing was astronomy.
Right. He had 2 degrees in undergrad and master's in physics, and then a doctorate in astronomy. And he did a little stint at Harvard.
Yeah.
Didn't get tenure.
No.
So he's like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And Cornell was like, you come to us.
Yes.
And we will treat you like a god. And they did. And he settled in at Cornell and set up his own lab, right? The Laboratory for Planetary Studies.
Yes.
And that was when he really started to get going. He was doing side work for NASA at the time as well, doing consulting.
He did that throughout his whole career.
Formulas, that kind of stuff.
Sure. When NASA is picking your brain about like the Apollo mission, you're doing pretty well for yourself.
Yeah.
As a scientist.
But so he had this potential to really go as science-y as he wanted to with this stuff. And he did in some ways, in a lot of ways, with his consulting with NASA. But he also kind of pushed NASA into humanity's direction as well.
Yeah.
Like the Voyager discs. That's a really great example of it. Like he talked NASA into including discs on Voyager 1 and 2.
Are you talking about the Golden Record?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That are basically like, here's some stuff that represents humanity and Earth.
Yeah, pretty much like if we ever do find life on Earth, we need to have something to offer them to represent us.
Or life elsewhere, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd I say? Life on Earth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's life on Earth. It's pretty much documented as fact.
Life out there, extraterrestrial life. He said we need to present ourselves in what Earth is like and what humans are like. So he included 115 images representing the diversity of life, and then sounds, basically. Like his wife literally, this is pretty out there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if marijuana had anything to do with it.
I think so.
Yeah, his wife, Anne, she created her own sounds for the project. Basically, she meditated and then told the story of the universe by thinking it with her brain. Right. And then those brain waves were translated into music. And she said, my mind also wandered to my love of my husband. So that was translated. So that was her message that they blasted out into space, which is pretty far out.
Right.
But awesome. Messages of love.
Sure, man.
It's pretty neat. He wasn't afraid to show his tender side.
No, he definitely wasn't. He was vulnerable in a lot of ways. And also on those discs, there's, I believe, etchings of a man and a woman. I think it's etched on the disc. And they're like laser disc size. They're super retro.
Sure.
And made of gold, which is pretty cool. And then there's basically a depiction of where Earth is in the Milky Way, I believe. So it's basically saying, we're here if you ever find this.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Voyager 1, I believe, got lost and awakened and became sentient, and then became a god to some beings. Remember, in I think Star Trek 1, the first movie.
I never saw those.
V'ger. You never saw any of the Star Trek movies?
Dude, I've never seen one episode of the TV show. I've never seen one episode of Next Generation.
Yeah, no.
The only Star Trek thing I've ever ingested was...
Our apologies to Will Wheaton, by the way.
was that first movie that J.J. Abrams did. I saw that.
I saw the second one of that. I also saw, I think, Star Trek, maybe 1, 2, and 3. And in one of those, there's this god V'ger who's like this artificial intelligence, and they finally meet V'ger and realize that the Oya is blotted out, and it's really Voyager 1, the space probe.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I thought it was pretty neat, too. I'm not a Trekkie by any means, but they were still entertaining movies.
I just never got into it. I was always a Star Wars guy. Not that they're mutually exclusive, but I don't know. It just didn't grab me.
You know, who would have predicted that we go off on a Star Trek tangent in the Carl Sagan episode?
Although I think I've told the story of working on a commercial with William Shatner.
You have. Didn't he, bend you over a car and pretend to arrest you?
No, that was Ponch.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Shatner was T.J. Hooker. It could have happened.
Yeah, he was great, though. He was awesome. He loved being William Shatner.
Oh, yeah, man. You can tell that guy wears it like a suit.
Yeah, he was awesome. Very nice guy.
So we're getting off track again here. Sagan was sciencey. There was actual science to stuff. As a matter of fact, the idea of the greenhouse effect is rooted partially in his work.
Yeah, I mean, that had been around since the late 19th century, but he looked at a planet like Venus and said, you know what, Venus is really hot, and I think why it's because this greenhouse effect. And then because of that work, people started thinking, well, maybe Earth has a greenhouse effect going on too.
Right.
It really opened the door for that line of thought.
It did. And he's correct. Earth definitely does have a greenhouse effect, and it's problematic.
Correct.
Another one that he's widely cited for is the faint young sun paradox. I don't know if he was the one who first pointed this out, or if he just kind of built upon it. And it's still not fully solved yet.
I think so. He and George Mullen
figured this out?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
So the idea is that Earth, early on in its history, was a ball of ice. But problematically, there was also some liquid water on Earth, too. It wasn't all ice. And this doesn't make much sense because the sun, as it stands now, is just about enough to keep Earth from being a frozen ball of ice.
Yeah.
But back then, when Earth was mostly a frozen ball of ice, the sun was only at like 70% of its luminosity. One of those.
Yeah.
Luminosity, right?
Yeah.
Sure. That it is today. And so it doesn't make sense that there should be any liquid water on Earth. And it's called the faint young sun paradox. And I believe they figured out, Sagan and Mullen said, oh, well, it's the greenhouse effect.
Yeah, and I don't think they ever fully settled on that.
No, still, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
They think it might be a combination of that and some other stuff.
That's right. What else did he do? He looked at Titan, Saturn's moon, at one point, and said, you know what? I think there's organic molecules up there, and that's why it looks red. And he was right.
Yeah, he went, ta-da.
Yeah. So, I mean, he wasn't afraid to throw a wacky hypothesis out there, and that did not do him any favors in the scientific community either.
No, because there is a definite arrogance associated with throwing out the hypothesis and not doing the work, leaving it to other people to do the work, and then you still get the credit for throwing the hypothesis out there. It's one of the main reasons why Sagan was highly criticized by some people in the scientific community.
Yeah, there's in the Smithsonian article, they say there's sort of an unwritten rule among scientists: thou shalt not speculate, thou shalt not talk about things outside your immediate area of expertise.
That's a big one that he transgressed.
Yeah, he was all over the place. And thou shalt not horse around on late night TV talk shows.
Yeah, with Carson.
Yeah, he was on Carson 24 times over a couple of decades,
right,
and was, like I said, sort of the Neil deGrasse Tyson. He was the go-to when anyone in the press needed anything for television. He was the guy. And
anything that had anything even remotely to do with science, even if it had to do with theology, and somebody wanted a science's opinion of theology, go to Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
And so from Sagan's his point of view, he's just furthering science. What's the problem?
Sure.
From the other scientist's point of view, it's like it makes it look like Carl Sagan is trained in everything from astrophysics, which he was, to theology and biology and anthropology and every ology in between. And he wasn't.
True. There's some professional jealousy too, you know?
Yeah.
I think, you know how it is.
Sure.
Like he's getting all the press and other folks are stuck in a lab doing what they think is the real work.
Right.
So I kind of get it in a way, but I just think that people like Bill Nye and Tyson and Sagan are hugely necessary.
Sure.
You know, you got to have a face out there furthering it.
You definitely do.
You know?
Yep. And you got to have a media outlet like Parade Magazine to put that face on.
Yeah.
That was his go-to for sure.
Oh, was he in there a lot?
Oh, yeah. It was...
That's the Sunday insert, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like kind of the big joke is that he stopped publishing in academic journals and started publishing in Parade Magazine.
Yeah.
And if you remember in our nuclear winter episode.
Yeah, he was. Did he completely think of that?
No.
He just furthered it.
He was part of a group that was organized that basically said, like, if you guys start setting off nuclear bombs, it's not going to be this thing that just ends. Like, there's going to be this thing called nuclear winter. And they hadn't done all the science yet before he went and wrote an article in Parade Magazine and told the world about nuclear winter. And in the opinion of the scientists he was working with, like, really undermined their case because it sensationalized it.
Yeah, but what it also did was it got your average Joe thinking about nuclear war and the Cold War, and maybe we shouldn't be zooming toward our own demise at 100 miles an hour.
Agreed, man. And that's the big back and forth about Sagan's legacy.
Yeah.
Or the actual work he did, too.
Yeah, and you mentioned theology. He was famously spiritual agnostic. He was a spiritual agnostic, is how he defined himself.
Yeah, he didn't classify himself as atheist.
No, and the reason why, true to Sagan's own way, was that he could not scientifically prove that there was not God. So he said, how can I call myself an atheist?
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. And actually, he's the guy, supposedly, that coined the term extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof.
That's what I hear.
Does that go back to him?
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, skeptics love the dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's the father of the skeptic. But I think I think he gives skeptics the good name.
Sure.
Because he wasn't a poo-pooer.
If you want to prove your bones to how hardcore a skeptic you are, you criticize Carl Sagan in the skeptic community.
Oh, yeah?
You can really show that you're a super skeptic.
Right.
Yeah. Sagan was a milquetoast as far as skeptics go.
Yeah, because he would indulge
skeptics.
other lines of thought.
Right.
But still require proof, but he wouldn't just shut it down right
No.
out of the gate.
No. So we will get back to Carl Sagan right after these messages.
Work can be a little weird. One minute you're in a meeting that could have been an email. The next you're trying to decode corporate jargon that somehow means nothing. And don't even get us started on the quick sync that turns into a 45-minute deep dive.
Yeah, well, the truth is figuring out your career isn't always straightforward. Whether you're trying to grow, pivot, or just stay relevant, it can feel like you're navigating it all on your own. Well, that's where LinkedIn comes in.
That's right. LinkedIn can help you grow your career, helping you confidently navigate your path with insights, ideas, and inspiration from your professional community. You can stay up to date with the latest trends in your field, connect with people who get it, and discover opportunities tailored to your goals, your experience, and what actually matters to you.
Whether you're looking for something new or just trying to grow where you are, LinkedIn gives you the tools and connections to move forward with confidence. Because LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit linkedin.com/knowstuff to learn more.
Hey everyone, if you've ever wanted to feel what it's like inside an episode of a show you love, hang with podcast hosts beyond the mic, or swap screens for sunsets with curious, like-minded people, then Stuff at Sea is your kind of voyage.
That's right. Stuff at Sea is a 5-night, culture-soaked escape where pink sand paradise meets curious minds. Sailing round trip on October 2nd to 7th, 2026 from New York City to Bermuda, this voyage drops you straight into the iHeart Podcast Stuff universe.
On top of the adults-only experience you already love, you'll get live podcast episode recordings, behind-the-scenes sessions, themed activations, and more unmissable on-board moments.
Yeah, and there's overnight stays in Bermuda, so there's no rush. Just long, sun-drenched days to explore or do absolutely nothing at all. And back on board, curiosity sparks connection through conversations, experiences, and a lineup designed to keep things as thought-provoking as they are unforgettable.
Stuff at Sea is part of the new specialty sailing collection that transforms beloved podcasts into immersive at-sea experiences exclusively with Virgin Voyages. Expect more stories, more hosts, and more ways to experience the voices that you love.
Book now at virginvoyages.com/stuff.
Running a business is hard enough, so why make it harder with a dozen different apps that don't talk to each other? One for sales, another for inventory, a separate one for accounting. Before you know it, you are drowning in software instead of growing your business.
And this is where Odoo comes in. Odoo is the only business software you'll ever need. It's an all-in-one, fully integrated platform that handles everything: CRM, accounting, inventory, e-commerce, HR, and more. No more app overload, no more juggling logins, just one seamless system that makes work easier.
And the best part, Odoo replaces multiple expensive platforms for a fraction of the cost. It's built to grow with your business, whether you're just starting out or already scaling up. Plus, it's easy to use, customizable, and designed to streamline every process. So you can focus on what really matters, which is running your business. Thousands of businesses have made the switch. So why not you?
Try Odoo for free at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hey everybody, I want to talk to you a little bit about Tide Evo because it represents over 10 years of innovation and product development. Tide Evo is a first-of-its-kind technology where tens of thousands of minuscule fibers are spun together to form a 6 times powerful layer packed with scrubbers, brighteners, pre-treaters, and fresheners. And that's going to deliver a breakthrough clean that's so powerful, it feels like magic.
Yeah, it is kind of like magic. Tide Evo is revolutionary. A 100% concentrated, waterless laundry tile that's made of compressed microfiber soap layers rather than liquid or powder. And it's not like pods or sheets because it uses 6 layers of detergent fibers to deliver superior cold water cleaning without plastic packaging of any kind. And it provides a mess-free, lightweight solution that dissolves lickety-split. So whenever you run into a laundry challenge, turn to Tide Evo. It's revolutionary, it's magic. Try new Tide Evo. Real laundry magic.
All right, Chuckers, we're back.
Yes.
So there was one thing that Carl Sagan, he would poke fun at himself. He never abandoned it, was this idea that possibly, maybe, just maybe, there was intelligent life out there.
Yeah.
And I
He
think
wanted there to be,
for sure.
you know?
He helped disprove or set the conditions against life being out there for sure. Like, for example, he suggested that on Mars, the shifting features of Mars were a result of dust storms. And it turned out he was right. But those dust storms also basically said, there's probably not life on Mars.
Yeah.
Just from that reason alone, those horrible dust storms, right?
Yeah, and he actually, he won a Pulitzer Prize for some of his work. I think he wrote more than a dozen books. But one of the things he wrote was Contact, the novel. Not, he was totally into sci-fi.
Sure.
And wrote, the movie Contact, that McConaughey and Jodie Foster. That was based on his novel. And, of course, that movie was about sending signals into outer space trying to find life. So you could tell the guy, it was something he loved to talk about and write about.
Oh, yeah. But he also loved it, actually, that kind of research.
Yeah.
Which is totally up his alley. Like SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, is evidence-based and science-based search for extraterrestrials, right?
Yes.
That's Carl Sagan through and through. That's just totally him. He was he wanted to believe in extraterrestrial life, but he needed proof to believe in it, really.
Yeah.
He just couldn't make that jump to just saying, yes, they exist without any proof.
Yeah, exactly. So he's writing books. He's NASA's picking his brain. He's all over the place. And he eventually, we've talked about his TV show, it debuted on, it debuted in 1981. Yeah.
I thought 80.
Was it 80?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 1980. So I must have been 9 years old.
I was 4.
I thought I was 10.
What month was it?
I don't know.
I don't either.
But he originally, the TV series was going to be called Man in the Cosmos, but he thought that was sexist, and he was a feminist. So he said he proposed a couple of more titles. One was called There.
Terrible.
THERE, with some subtitle, and then the other was Cosmos, along with a subtitle.
And he spent like 3 years around the world filming this thing, right?
Yeah, and it's not like it ran for seasons and seasons. It was like a single run of shows on PBS. That
television event.
Yeah, it was a TV event, exactly. One of the other things that he did, which I never knew, was he wrote, along with his son now, because his son has a byline, I guess.
Jimmy Sagan?
No.
Todd Sagan?
No. He has 5 kids, I think, total.
Okay.
But one of his sons became a sci-fi writer. Another one became more of a science writer.
So basically, he split into 2.
Yeah. Actually, I never thought about it that way.
Bam. I just explained 2 of his kids' existence.
He wrote the entry for life.
Oh, yeah.
For Encyclopedia Britannica.
Yep.
Like, this is what life is.
Yeah, he was a fairly energetic dude, for sure.
Yeah, to say the least.
I mean, he did Cosmos in his mid-40s, just out of nowhere.
He had a lot accomplished for a pothead.
He really did, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the Cypress Hill of science.
I don't know.
Hey, man, they put out like 3 albums in like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, yeah?
That's a lot of work.
And then retired.
Yeah. Sagan did not retire.
No, he did not, sir. He worked up until his death in 1996.
Yeah, he dies after battling a bone marrow disease for about a year or so. 2 years, I think, is closer. He was diagnosed with it, and he needed a transplant, and his sister stepped up and volunteered to give him a donation, and did. And apparently it wasn't quite enough, because he died of an infection after about a year and a half after the transplant.
Yeah, just 64 years old.
Yeah.
Way too young.
It really is.
And in fact, yesterday, the day we're recording this is November 10th. I believe yesterday would have been his 81st birthday.
Oh, yeah. You didn't plan that?
Nope.
Wow. That's
Isn't that
pretty
weird?
impressive, Chuck.
Yeah, he's speaking to me from billions of light years away.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that because somebody wrote to him. They said, "How do you know that there's not a heaven?" And he had this really great response. Remember in his archives, he was a pack rat, so he kept a lot of correspondence. And from it, they found in this Achimbach article, there's a citation of a letter that he wrote to somebody. And he says, "Thanks for your letter. Nothing like the Christian notion of heaven has been found out to about 10 billion light years." And then in parentheses, he puts 1 light year is almost 6 trillion miles. Best wishes. And the point is, like, he took the time to write the letter back to this guy. Like, he would engage rather than just ignore the letter entirely.
Yeah.
So he entertained and indulged people's ideas enough that he would engage with somebody he didn't even know about whether there's heaven or not. And this was sent the year he died, actually.
Oh, wow.
So he's writing this from his sickbed.
Wow, that's awesome. As far as whether or not it bothered him, whether or not how he was thought of in the scientific community, it kind of all came to a head in 1992. He was on a list to be included as a nominee for the National Academy of Sciences. Mm-hmm. In the end, he was not included, and it bothered him. He kind of brushed it off to people in public, saying that, I didn't think I would get in anyway. Mm-hmm. But his widow said, quote, "It was painful. It seemed like a unsolicited slight," end quote. And in 1994, they ended up giving him an honorary medal, which was nice. But that was definitely a big sting for him.
Yeah, the National Academy of Sciences said, "Nope, you're not a member.
Yeah.
You're not one of us."
They basically said that the actual research that you did wasn't strong enough.
Right.
Which, that stinks.
It sounds like a definite calculated slight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's included in my book.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So my hat is off to you, sir, forever.
You got anything else?
No, man. I just, someone needs to make a great documentary or movie about the guy.
Yeah.
Starring
Ashton Kutcher
oh,
as Carl Sagan.
That guy can play anybody.
Yeah. If you want to know more about Carl Sagan, you can start with this delightful little article on how stuff works by typing Carl Sagan in the search bar. And since I said search bar, it's time for listener mail.
Hey guys, my name is Connie. I've been a listener for a couple of months after my brother turned me onto the show. Since then, I've been completely obsessed and haven't been able to stop listening. I'm on track to become a nurse, so I can't get enough of anything science or biology related. I wanted to thank you for a couple of things. I'm in a base level anatomy class right now, and the Rigor Mortis podcast saved my behind and my grade on my cadaver dissection and muscles test. A lot of the things you covered, like the nature of the muscles' relationship with ATP and the integral proteins, really helped me pass my exam and not pass out in the cadaver lab. You also even taught my anatomy professor something new about HeLa cells.
Nice.
How about that?
Yeah.
Last year, I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression due to the fact that I could never really fit in the right way. I lost almost all of my friends when I made an early jump from high school to college, and being able to count on you two weekly has really helped a little bit with the loneliness, and learning something new is always a healthy distraction from anxiety. So you guys really give me something new and exciting to discuss and learn about twice a week. When you work 40 hours, it really goes a long way.
Nice.
It'd absolutely make his year if you could give a shout out to my brother, Matt, the physics teacher.
That is very nice.
Yeah, he's the reason I started listening to you, and sharing the love of knowledge is really something that has kept us close in spite of our 11-year age difference. It sparked so many interesting and inspired conversations between us. So thank you for what you're doing and helping many of us make it through tough spots. That is much love from Connie from Illinois. So thank you, Connie, and hello to Matt, your brother.
Hey, Matt, the physics teacher.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We love families that listen and bringing people together, man. It makes us feel good.
Yeah, the family that listens to SYSK together stays together.
That's right.
It's a dire warning.
Yep.
If you want to let us know how great somebody in your life is because they introduced you to stuff you should know, we love hearing that stuff. You can tweet to us at SYSK Podcast. You can join us on Facebook.com/Stuff You Should Know. You can send us an email to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com. And as always, join us at our home on the web, stuffyoushouldknow.com.
Stuff You Should Know is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.
You know, you could be adored by everyone and still completely ignored by your cat. Trust me, I know. But if you feed your cat Sheba, you can go from being ignored to truly adored in 12 days, guaranteed, or your money back. Sheba has a full menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, even a kitten's menu. It's so cute, so Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater. Like Sheba Puree, it's made with bone broth, their chef-inspired flavors. It's got a smooth and creamy texture that cats love and contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. It's food that your cat's gonna love. To learn more, check out Sheba.com. That's SHEBA.com.
Introducing the all-new Mazda CX-5, featuring more connection.
Hey Google, where's the nearest Pilates class?
Safety that has your back. More discovery on the scenic routes. More passion in the details. And more control in changing weather. The all-new Mazda CX-5. More to move every side of you. See it in 5 films at MazdaUSA.com/5sides.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC. Sequences shortened and simulated.
Making sense of the news is a full-time job, but it doesn't have to be yours. Not when the Guardian's new podcast, Stateside with Kai and Carter, does it for you. 3 times a week, journalists Kai Wright and Carter Sherman cut right to it, asking what's actually happening and why does it matter. Drawing on the Guardian's reporting, they provide perspectives on everything from sports to fashion and deliver it with clarity and context. Listen to Stateside with Kai and Carter, wherever you get podcasts or watch on YouTube.
Hey, quick question for the parents listening right now. When's the last time your kid asked for something and you actually felt good saying yes? Because lately, a lot of families have been hearing the same thing. Can I have Lingo Kids, please?
And here's the thing. Lingo Kids is the #1 entertainment platform for young kids with more than 4,000 interactive games, songs, and shows. Astronauts, wild animals, superheroes, dinosaurs. It's literally everything kids love all in one place.
So when they ask for it, you can actually feel good saying yes. Download Lingo Kids for free and start exploring today, or unlock even more amazing content with Lingo Kids Plus. And if you go with the yearly plan, you can save up to 60%. Just search Lingo Kids in the App Store or Google Play. Lingo Kids, everything kids love.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.